Okay, so the headline reads, Cam Newton checks Kendra G for giving parenting advice. I'm Kendra G. Hey, people. I was actually the woman in the interview. What part did this happen? What part in the interview did I get checked for giving parenting advice? Because I lived the interview. I'm actually the woman in the interview. And I can't find this moment to save my life. You know why I can't find the moment? Because it never happened. There's never a moment in this interview in which I am giving Cam Newton parenting advice. This what works my nerves the most as a real journalist, as a person that actually went to college and has a broadcasting degree, a person that has been doing interviews before YouTube was created, before podcast equipment was on sale. This is what I did, okay? So now that we got my credentials out the way, let's go back to the clickbait headline. So if you have not watched the full interview I did with Cam Newton on Funky Friday, go to YouTube and watch the full interview. Now, in the interview, there's a moment when Cam asked me, could I date a man with kids? I get to the point in my answer in which I say, can't date a man with 9 kids, okay? That's too many kids. Gotta accept the children, their mama, and more than likely, one of the children would not like me.
I do think you're projecting a little bit.
Projecting in what way?
The example that you gave was, one of them kids ain't gonna like me.
You think that all 9 kids are gonna like your new girlfriend?
Well, as the adult, there's certain things that you instill in your children as respect.
I feel as though it's this. You can teach your children respect,
right,
but their emotions belong to them.
Yeah, and this is why,
okay,
this is going back to the first question.
Okay.
It's like, you're telling me how a children is supposed to be raised, and you don't have children.
But I was raised as a child. What does that mean?
No, I understand that, respectfully. Mm-hmm. This is where I check out.
But real quick, I'm not telling you how to raise children.
Yeah, but we're having a conversation about so your children don't think on their own. I'm telling you, hell no, they don't. Not while they're in my house. Because if it's up to my kids, they're eating Skittles every night. They're eating gummy bears every night. And certain things is to say, like, no, we're not going to do that. You're going to eat this because it's nurturing to your body. And that's a food example. Mm-hmm. But you're saying that you want to stay up and play video games all day, but we have to work on your literacy. You may not want to read your book. You may not want to go to tutoring. You may not want to go to school. But hey, yes, I'm thinking for you. I'm telling you that, no, I'm not negotiating with you. You're not staying in this bed. Mm-hmm.
So let me say, I agree with all that. So we were talking about your children's emotion with a new romantic interest. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about. So you're right, I don't have kids. But when I was a kid, there's a moment my parents were not together. Okay. No matter who my dad had, she wasn't my mama. No matter who my mother had, he wasn't my dad. Okay. So yes, I have to be respectful, but don't get it twisted. I'm team my parent no matter who y'all dating. Now here's why I'm irritated, because I make that part clear in the interview. But bloggers are keeping that moment out because then they can't drive the narrative that I got checked for trying to give parenting advice. Listen, bloggers, here's the deal. I know you got to get your rent paid by getting clicks and using my name and Cam's name. I understand it. But if you're going to report on me, I suggest you report the facts. Because if not, I'm going to check your ass. Case closed.